Hello, good evening. Welcome to Air2Ground Farms live stream. I'm Rich.
And I'm Shelley.
Today is February the 16th. Happy President's Day to everyone. We have a special guest with us we're going to start you out with tonight. It'll be the beginning of our farm update.
So on February the 1st, one of our females, her name is Nala, she had
Female what?
Oh, our female guardian dog. Oh yeah, we got lots of females. Female guardian dog. Her name is Nala. She had puppies on one of the coldest days that we had, and we lost basically all of them except for one. And she's 2 weeks old today, and she is getting huge. Well, mom could feed about 12 puppies, and she's just an only child sitting at a smorgasbord, basically an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, yeah.
And this little girl is growing. She just started to open her eyes. And this is her. I just wanted to show her to you guys. She's a swimmer. She can't really quite tell what's happening. So I'm going to show her here. Look at that little face. Well, she's big.
She's big.
She's going to be really, real. I mean, look, she's 2 weeks old and I can barely hold her. That's how big they are. I know. So we're going to name her Zira, Z-I-R-A. Her mom is Nala from Lion King 1, Zira from Lion King 2. And she's just going to be a good big guardian dog.
Yes, she
Yes.
is.
And we figure we were going to, send some to other farms and all of that. But with the situation, the way that it was, she earned her right and her place to stay at Air2Ground Farms.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just keep her around. So it didn't go like we wanted to, the weather. And we even brought them in to the garage and it was still brutal cold in there. We gave them heat blankets, but I think their systems were so shocked by the initial day and what they came into the world, just really struggling. So this is the one that we have left. It was kind of tragic, but things happen. And we can't control the weather.
Yeah. No.
But she's adorable.
Yes,
and
she
she's just as cute as she can be. And she's going to be fun. It'll just be mom and her out there with the sheep here shortly.
Yeah.
I bet she's going to be really good, though.
Yeah, so they're still in the garage for right now, and we're going to leave them in probably a couple more days until she starts walking around.
Yeah.
So she's just now starting to swim with her front legs, walk with her back legs. Eyes are just barely open.
Yeah.
So we got a few more days of them being inside, and then they'll move out. We don't normally bring those dogs inside. Like Nala's never been inside before in her life. But she's done a great job staying in the garage. She was house trained like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, she's done great.
Yeah.
She's probably wondering where she is her little buddy is right now. So I'm going to send her back to the garage. Say bye to everybody. All right. There we go.
Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you. I'm sure Nala she might be worried. Okay.
We don't really have a whole lot else on the farm update side of things. The calves that we showed you pictures of last time are doing great.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing exactly what they need to be doing.
We do have to, we're feeding hay out of we're bale grazing them. We're putting the round bales into hay rings right now, moving it around so that the earth gets impacted, but we're not wasting so much hay because we're getting close to the end of winter and we're just kind of had to put the throttle on. Or the brakes on, rather. Pull the throttle back on the hay usage. Anyway, so when he goes out there with the tractor now and he's moving the hay ring and putting the bale out, I have to go out there with him to make sure those little calves, because they're not real smart yet, that they're out of the way of the whole system. And they're getting to that age where they like to hightail it, where they literally just lift their tail up and just zoomy, zoomy, zoomy. And today it was hilarious. This wasn't the calves. This was the hay. Rich set the hay down. He's been setting it down on the curved side rather than on its end, because when it's on its end, the cows just really, it just undoes a lot different. So if he puts it on its side, on the curved side, on the roll side, then they waste less. Well, anyway, Today, we live in the hills. Today, he set it down. The big cows came over and the bull, and they start doing their thing. And then he moves the hay ring and just slowly puts it down, and they move out of the way. Well, today, before he could get the hay ring over to the hay bale, they rolled it down the hill. Like, off it went. And about a quarter of it unrolled, which is fine. They'll eat it. But then he had to go over there. And then, the job of keeping the calves out from underneath the tractor wheels, very important. We don't want to run over them.
The truth.
Very important. So that was a little funny thing that happened this morning.
I wasn't laughing.
Oh, I was. I thought it was hilarious. And that's perspective. Whenever things go like, one person's, aggravated at the situation and the other one thinks it's funny.
The cows, it's so funny, the way they did it this morning. They thought that was the biggest hoot. Like when we unroll the bale, they're like, okay, they go start eating it. Sometimes they'll sort of kick up for a second. Man, when they rolled that bale of hay, the whole lot of them just took off running and
they
bucking.
Thought that was the greatest
they just
thing.
thought that was the funnest thing that they've done.
I just hope they didn't learn. I saw a little short on YouTube the other day, and this one guy, he unrolls his, but he doesn't do it with the bale unroller. He has a cow. He'll set it down, and one of his cows, he'll be like, go on, unroll it. And she just gets behind there and just unrolls the bale for him. I don't want them to learn
I hope
that.
not.
You may have to just set it on the end. If they do it again, you have to set it on the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Be able to do that again.
I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but we did order our first 2 batches of chickens for this year, our broiler chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we still have chicken, we did a lot last year, and we still have chicken for the store. We thought, well, we'll throttle back on that. So we ordered 100 broilers for the early part that will be here, the early part of the season. They'll be here in March, right?
Yeah, they hatch March 31st.
Okay, so 1st of April. And then we're going to skip, they'll be done in 8 weeks. We'll skip the hottest part of the summer because that's the hardest to keep them alive when they're big. And then we'll do another 100 at the end of the summer, kind of coming into fall, arrival like 1 September. And then we're going to process all of those on farm. We're going to do those as whole chickens only. That way we have more whole chicken and we won't be needing to get them from other people.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our own wholes this year since we still have enough cuts to carry us through a little while longer.
And we did get some rain. It has warmed up over this past week. It's been the temperatures have been nice. It rained, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half. And the grass is starting to green, which is nice. It's not growing yet. It's still too cold at night, but it's turning green, which is good.
It's making the cows pick. So we're going to have to lock them in a little tighter so that they're not picking all the new green grass that's coming up and stunting it. We're going to have to just tell them to stand right there.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to start wanting out though.
Oh yeah.
And then, but I mean, more cold's going to come. There's no doubt. It's only February the 16th, but we don't want them to really don't touch it just yet.
Yeah. If you haven't check in with us. Let us know where you're hanging out tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Who's in here tonight?
Farmhand Huck saying hi, folks. A to G ham steak for dinner here.
Oh, fun. That's good.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't tried our ham steaks, they're amazing.
They are good. Phil's Rabbitry in Southwest Missouri says happy Monday. The days are getting longer, so we will be doing chores and watching you on our cell phones. Awesome. Thanks.
Glad you're taking us with you on your chore round.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else?
Well, I was thinking we got to talk to Phil and Mary about the rabbits.
Okay. Phil and Mary, we need to talk to you about rabbits. There. Come see us at the store so we can talk rabbits.
Yeah. Mare says, Rich, how's Linda doing? She's doing really well. Very well.
Yeah.
Check her out. Old School Nana. She's doing her own YouTube channel now.
Yeah. They're over there cooking and woodworking and making videos and learning how to edit and do YouTube. And it's wonderful. And they're having a ball with it. It's being a fun hobby for them. And so if you want to really see how she's doing, check out on YouTube, Old School Nana.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she's doing really well.
She's doing great.
And then Mayor says, smash that like button.
Yeah. If you guys are in here, if you would just go right over you just scroll with your thumb on your TV. If you're watching on your TV, go to the thumbs up thing and go click. And it will give us it'll give us a like. That'd be great.
And then Mary says, got to take you guys in our pocket doing chores. Anna says, good evening.
Good evening.
All. Yeah.
That's awesome that you're here. I got your comment on the other video and we watched that. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, Peter Santinello, he's got a fantastic channel. He takes people all around especially the United States, showing you things that you don't normally see, cultures he's gone to Indian reservations. He's gone to the Appalachians. He does really cool stuff and just shows you what inner America looks like. And he went to our hometown of Okeechobee, Florida, and he's got like 4.1 million subscribers.
Wow.
He's a pretty big channel.
Yeah.
And he went to our little hometown in Okeechobee and went around the lake and just kind of showed what that part of Florida is like. And it is not like what you see on TV by any stretch. So if you want to know, go check out his channel where he goes to Central Florida.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Homestead Jude says, howdy, y'all. Good to see you again.
Glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah. Carol, I want chickens. Hello from Harleysville, Pennsylvania. We had another light dusting of snow last night.
Some friends of ours were driving through Maryland and all of like Western Maryland, and they went through snow. They saw people ice fishing on ponds, and they went through some snow and stuff on their way out of the area. So yeah, snow still happening in places.
The Old School Nana. Hi, Mom. Hello from windy northeast Oklahoma.
The wind is blowing on planes?
What? Angels Homestead says, hey, everyone.
Hey.
We have Susie Q saying hello. Just got the message from YouTube.
Oh, glad it showed up this time.
Trisha Pomeroy says hello from North Central Washington. Snowing here. Glad to make it tonight.
Oh, glad you're here.
Yeah.
And stay warm.
Yeah, for real. I'm glad it's not snowing here.
Me too.
Jeannie Kinlan says hello from Nebraska, where we reached 65 today. The tulips are coming up.
Oh, I bet ours will start. We'll start seeing them.
Soon,
I don't have flowers, but
There's some wild ones around.
There's some wild ones on the roads. Tulips / I guess bulb flowers, maybe some dandelions and stuff. I am not the flower. I think there's not.
We do have dandelions coming up.
What are those other ones?
I'm not a flower person.
Daffodils. The daffodils. That's
Dahlias, daisies.
No, daffodils. Daffodils, for sure.
There you go. What a cute,
Oh, my God.
what a cute puppy, Jeannie says.
Welcome to our actual life.
And then Anna says,
how silly.
precious pup. Hooligan, hey guys, says that is one dense puppy.
Yes, she is.
And she is.
She's a roly-poly.
If she keeps growing like she is, that's going to be a huge dog.
Well, her dad probably weighs 150, 180. He's probably 180 pounds.
Yeah, he may be pushing 200.
Mom is definitely, she's probably 100.
I reached down and I tried to lift him over a fence.
Did you?
And like, I can lift you up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't lift him. He may be over 200.
He's a big.
He's a
so
big boy. He is a
she could
big
be
boy.
big.
Yeah.
She could be big.
Trisha says she's adorable.
Yeah.
And Susie Q says sweet.
Yeah, she's great.
Old School Nana, she's beautiful. She looks just like Tank. Yeah, so her colorings are like Nala.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to have Nala's hair type.
Yeah.
But the shape of her face and
Yeah.
everything does look a lot like Tank.
Mm-hmm. She's going to be something.
Connie Clayton says hello from Fountain, Florida, where it's been in the 70s for the past few days. Beautiful.
Florida's beautiful when it's 70.
Yeah. Trisha Pomeroy says, I use a hay net, but I also move it from spot to spot every time I put out a new one. I've seen those hay nets at a farm store just outside of Springfield. I was looking at those things.
Interesting.
Firefox Kitty says, greetings from Arizona. Thanks for sharing.
Glad you're here.
Yeah. And Becca is checking in at the top of the hill.
Up there cooking ham steaks.
Anna says, thumbs up.
Thank you.
Jeannie says, love the old school Nana YouTube.
Oh, good. That's great.
Xana B60 says, hello from East Central Texas. We had a sunny, beautiful day today, high of 74.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
This is a beautiful time of year. It can be.
Yeah. Susie Q says we have some snow, still have snow and some green grass in northern Indiana.
Gotcha.
My Burrell Homestead's checking in saying, hey, you two, I actually made it.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Hey, Grizz.
Wow.
Stephen Griswold says, cheers from Pinehurst. Gunfighters rule.
They do.
Guns up.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good to see you. And Tricia says, hay nets are generally used for horses.
Oh.
And that's what I thought too, but my cows do well with it. You're the first person I've ever seen or heard that uses them with cows.
Interesting.
That is interesting to know that they do well with it. Mm-hmm. I bet the sheep would do well with it.
Actually, I bet you're right, because right now we're putting a cattle panel ring, like cattle panel, put it in a circle around it. It would be very similar to that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, we're going to have to think on that and look at that. Thank you for the tip.
Because I really do bet the sheep would do good. Because we flip the cattle panel upside down, so the bigger squares are on the bottom, and we cut some out,
right,
to give them a bigger spot. But that's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a struggle if the bale's big too. The cattle panel doesn't quite fit. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So she says,
always something to think about.
I'm weird like that. Had horses first.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
E. Kim Markham, good evening from Mom and Dad in Florida.
Good evening to you too.
Happy birthday. By the way, a little bit late. It was Lowry's birthday.
Yeah, my dad turned 80 years old on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Congratulations to him. It's a significant milestone.
That's right. My Burrell Homestead Life says, just finished putting hay out in prep for the snow, forecasting about a foot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's way up there though. You know?
I don't need that. I wonder about sheep getting their feet caught in the netting though. Yeah, they get their feet caught in everything.
That's true.
They've gotten their feet caught in the cattle panel before too. I don't know.
Okay.
It may be worth trying.
It may be worth looking at for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those, that's kind of what we want to talk about tonight a little bit, things that we thought would work 100% and they don't really.
Not always,
And then we find things that work better and go with it and adjust, that kind of deal.
How about you guys? Have you got any things, as we're talking, we'll scroll through the comments also. Do you have things on your farm or homestead or maybe even life in general where you just knew it was going to work and maybe it just didn't work quite like you had thought?
Or you saw it on YouTube and they said it's going to work. This is the way to do it. This is the only way you should do it, in fact. And it's going to work. And then you found out that wasn't necessarily the truth.
Maybe.
We'll talk about some of that.
Yeah. We have notes and stuff, but before we get into the notes, the first thing that I thought of when you said that, when you said, what are things that we thought about farming that turned out to not be true? The first thing that popped into my head was I thought it was all about animals.
Yeah. But the type of farming that we do, and it is, but the type of farming that we do going direct to consumer all the way with a cut to them with a piece of meat, like you said, and when we were chatting, we had how to take care of the animals. We understood that within the first year.
Yeah.
A year into it, and you've figured out pretty much how to, Are we perfect at animal husbandry at that point? No. Did we have a bucket full to learn? Yes. And have we learned a lot since? Yes. But the basics of taking care of the animals, making sure that they're, fed and watered and moved, and signs that someone's not well, all of that. Within a year and a half, you're kind of like, okay, I think I got this down, because you're doing it every single day. But what we didn't know, but at a year and a half, now we've got a product, and well, crap. What are we going to do with the pork chops now?
Marketing and sales and pricing and customers and websites and POS, point of sale systems to take credit cards. And I mean, like, just the whole everything else
on the back
end of it was like, man, I've laughed about that often. Man, I really thought farming was about animals.
Nope. No, it's not. It's about getting it into the hands of the customer.
Yeah.
And we've talked to you guys about that a lot. But a couple of little nuggets of, fun things tonight about what we thought were for sure this was going to work, or this was the easiest thing. A couple of beliefs that we had. Belief number one: if we work hard enough, it will work. Now, remember, we're Generation X, okay? And that means something, because we're all about work hard. We will work. We will work hard, play hard. That's our generation. And we can flat work. And we were pretty sure, we were 48 at the time when we started all of this, that we can do this for a really long time. At 53 now, I'm going, and after a knee injury and all of the things, you go, well, I don't know, first of all, if sheer hard work is what's going to get us to the finish line. Because just being out there hustling and working, whether it's hot and you've got COVID, or that's not the only answer. And oh, by the way, it's not the most efficient way to do the thing. And it tears your body up.
Yeah.
And your mind. And it burns you out. It will burn you out. Just working for work's sake, we learned that's not. So we had to implement some systems.
Yeah. So, for example, the first over a year, we had our cows, our sheep, and our guardian dogs. Each of those animal groups, we moved them every day. And it was just you and I at that point. And that, for over a year, every day, we moved the cows, we moved the sheep, we moved the dogs, next day we moved the cows, we moved the sheep, we moved the dogs. And
with nets, with sheep nets.
The sheep and the dogs had nets. Yeah, the cows.
The cows didn't have nets, but the sheep and the dogs had nets.
But we had to move the electric fencing for the cows also.
Yeah.
So every day that was basically our entire day.
Yeah.
And as we started making product, then, you have to do other things during the day.
Right.
And so that system of, well, we can just, sort of play outside all day.
There was no
every
YouTube.
day.
There was no store. There was no farmer's market. We were building a house and farming, like outside, physically learning the act of actually taking care of the animals and the land. And so that's all we did. We just moved animals. And then, pigs came on, and we moved the pigs and learning how to train pigs and do all that. But we realized we do not have enough time to be out here doing this all day, every day. And now we have products that we need to sell. Mm-hmm. And now we need to build a website and write a blog.
Yeah.
And he wrote a blog every single day for months. And then it was every week,
every day for over a year.
and then it was then it went once a week. He doesn't write that anymore, just simply because of really time. We got so constrained on time that didn't fit into the system at all. And so we had to stop. We're like, we can't move these animals every day. We're going to have to fix that system.
Yeah.
We're going to have
we need to come up with a new
we
system.
need to come up with something
of
new.
Doing the animals so
Right.
that we have time to do the other things that have to be done.
Right. When you have nothing else to do, and say you're living in the suburbs and you need to mow your yard, and you go with a few dollars to Lowe's and you buy one of those little, those little lawnmowers, and you just and the old style, the spinny thing. Like, you can do that if you're not that busy, but if you're super busy, you probably have a lawn service.
Right.
Different system.
Yeah.
But the analogy works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there some comments?
Oh yeah. Let's catch
Okay,
up
good.
on some comments. We're back to the sheep. They will stick their head through the net. Yep. My Braille Homestead Life says that. And then Story of My Life about, we asked, is there anything?
Right.
Tricia says, the holes are generally 2 inches or less. I could see feet. I see.
Got it.
Patty Irwin says, missed the beginning. Hi.
Okay. Glad
Hi,
you're here.
Patty. Let's see. We're talking about the sheep again. Agree
Okay.
if you get the ones that go over the bale, but if you use the ones that hang, they're generally bigger squares. The ones for horses. Gotcha. Jeannie Kinlan says, I tried every kind of gardening that I saw on YouTube. Raised beds, landscape fabric, and ended up going back to old-fashioned in-the-ground gardening. So much easier for us.
Yeah. And a lot of ideas are good ideas, but not all ideas work for the individual or the land, yeah, that you adjust. You adjust.
Yeah. And then Tricia back to the nets, saying that the hanging ones are dangerous, and she uses a big one.
Okay.
Cool. Got it. Yep. Nets.
Okay.
There we go.
Anyway, so that was the moment that you realized that we needed new systems. One of the moments I realized we needed new systems when we ferment all of our pig feed. And at one point, I think we had 16 buckets of pig feed that we were making, not every day, but keeping them in a rotation. And then it got cold and the buckets would freeze. So we couldn't ferment anymore. We were having to feed dry and then we brought them in the garage and we're doing hot water and feed for like 15 pigs. And
We were using 15-gallon, they're called Tough Stuff buckets with lids that snap on.
Right. But it's all in my garage, and it was a mess. It worked, but it didn't. It wasn't. And one day we were, I don't know, you're just constantly thinking. And one day I'm like, what about one of those broken freezers? We had a freezer go down. What about that broken freezer? Maybe we could make pig feed in a bigger container. And guess what? It doesn't freeze. And we've talked about it before. And that's just changing that system so where we can ferment feed in larger quantities. And the big feed bag stays right there. The water hose is right there. You just add it. If you want to add some milk to it, it's right in the barn, not in the garage. Because our garage, we go in and out that all the time. That's kind of our, that's our back door, or our farm foyer, and it's a mess, but, it's not too bad, but I didn't like that being in there. And that system works.
Yeah.
It really
well.
works.
Susie Q says, what you're doing and sharing about farming is so important for the future of American farmers. We need our farmers.
We do need our farmers. You bring up a really good subject that I think we could probably do an entire live stream on or podcast on Dust or Mud about the future of farming and the problems that we have with we don't have enough young people that want to farm, or do we? Maybe we do, but there's so many hurdles that are there for them to even get into farming. The policies in the country make it almost impossible. But you bring up a really good point, and thank you. We're glad to be here.
And then Phil is saying, happy to talk about rabbits.
Okay, good.
Firefox Kitty, did you have a home builder or contractor?
We did. We had a contractor that poured our concrete. I designed the house. We did a whole series on building the farm out. If you go, it was live streams. So say a couple months ago, if you go back in the videos, we walked through how we did all of it, like sort of start to finish. But we had a contractor who did the concrete and built the structure with us, but they built the walls, the roof, and basically got it dried in. And we worked with them part-time, but they did a fantastic job. Once they got us dried in with the interior walls up, like the frames, then we took it from there and we did all of the inside, the electric. He ran all the electric, him and his dad, the plumbing, and we did the plumbing underneath the house too. So we did a lot of it ourselves, but the contractor basically gave us a good foundation, good roof, and good walls.
Yep.
Is pretty much
Absolutely.
what we did.
Yeah, we did the drywall too.
Yeah, we did the drywall. Won't ever do that one again. Nope. Did I mention? Nope. Won't ever do that one again.
Xana says, I'm 62, but I want to farm.
You want to farm? Oh, yeah. Well, I think everybody should farm. Get you some chickens. Get some chickens.
Yeah.
You're in Texas, Heck yeah. Get some chickens.
Chickens are very easy to handle. Cows are very easy if you have the acres.
Yeah.
So, I would highly encourage you.
Yes. For
Heck
sure.
Yeah. If you're wanting to do it like successful business type stuff, Darby is a guy that we listen to, and he highly recommends you start with no more than 3 enterprises. We totally blew him off and started with like 12 or something.
We should have listened, probably.
But,
if 1,000% we should have listened.
I would encourage you start with just a couple of enterprises and and work yourself up from there. But heck yeah, give it a shot.
Rabbits, that's a good one.
Rabbits, chickens. Lana Schultz says hello from Minnesota.
Oh,
I enjoy listening to you guys.
Thank you. Glad you're here.
Yeah, for sure. My bro, hear you about the drywall.
Yeah, not doing that again. Yeah. We needed a better system. We needed to have just hired somebody. It took a lot longer than we thought it was going to. Like 3 months to do drywall.
It was a lot.
10-foot ceilings, and we did the ceiling too. Yeah. So you can imagine that one.
We should have done 1 or 2 more coats of.
Yeah.
But anyway,
whatever.
Carol says, since I am a spoiled brat and have lived in the suburbs in Hoa, I have only armchair living room. I often wonder how bad a farm would smell since I only have smell-o-vision.
Okay, you bring up that's a really great question. If you can smell it on a regenerative farm, especially people who are rotating, if I can smell it, it's time for them to go. A farm
move.
It's time for it's time for them to move to a new location on the farm. That means there's too much poop in the area, and it's better for the animals to not be in a stinky place. So more space, or if they're in a smaller space, then they need to be moved. So because I don't want to live in
It's much more healthy for the animals.
So much more.
It's a great way to know, like, how do you know when it's time to move? The pigs. How do you know when it's time to move pigs? If you start smelling the pigs, it's time for them to move.
Yeah.
And then you don't smell them anymore.
Right. Large farms that are more industrial, or they're not regenerative, or they're not rotationally grazing / moving them through the forest or whatever, especially in tight places, they do stink. They do. But if they've got plenty of space and they get moved, at least periodically, then there's not much smell.
Xana says, from your lips to the RV park owner's ears, I wanted chickens and was vetoed.
Oh.
Rats.
Well, yeah, okay.
Try rabbits. You can call them a pet.
Ooh. Get a couple cages, get like a couple of does and a buck in cages. They don't make any noise. They won't even know they're there.
They're my pets.
They're my pets.
You eat your pets?
You can breed them.
Why, yes, I do. Talk to Phil. Phil and Mary. They're great with rabbits.
That's right.
Connie Clayton says, I'm 67 and have 16 chickens, 3 ducks, 3 rabbits, and quail in the incubator.
Oh, awesome. Look,
that's awesome.
If the proverbial poop hits the fan, you're going to have some food.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Well, let's pray that doesn't happen. But anyway, you got your own food. I love it.
My Burrell says, wow, 10 feet? I only have 8 feet and hung all myself. Oh, yeah, it doesn't seem like that 2 feet would make a difference, but boy, does it.
Yeah. Well, we just rented. Yeah, it was something.
And then My Burrell Homestead Life says, spring can increase smell too. It just depends. That is very true.
That's true.
Especially as it starts raining and things start getting muddy. Yeah.
Is it mud? Is it mud? You know, sometimes it's moop.
Moop.
It's moop. You know, don't trust mud. You know, just don't.
Don't lick your lips.
Don't lick your lips.
If you're processing chickens, don't lick your lips.
No. Or if you're like castrating piglets.
No.
Not then either. No.
Not then either.
No.
Jeannie says, I've wanted chickens for a long time. My husband always said, wait until we retire. I'm 65 and retired, RN. Now guess what? I'm getting them chickens.
There you go. Get you some chickens.
That's right. That's great.
It's a gateway.
Moop. Yes. Moop.
It is.
Chickens are a gateway, y'all.
They are a gateway. They're the gateway drug. They are. Yeah. So another belief that we had was good product sells itself. Like, you know, in the 90s, early 90s, I believe it was, the thought of if you build it, they will come. It was bestowed on all of us, you know, and it might work in the cornfields of Nebraska.
And you have a field of dreams.
And you have a field of dreams. But in our field of dreams, we built it and like
nobody knew.
Nobody knows, you know, they don't just come. So we had to learn that
they didn't start walking out.
No, they didn't just start walking out of the Ozark, you know, the cedar trees, you know. They didn't. And we're like, oh no, now we're going to have to actually tell people we're here. We're going to have to go public and start trying to sell this. And yeah, come up with a way. What are we going to do?
Well, the first thing was a website, and we had to go through how do you buy a website?
Yeah.
How do you build a website? Yeah. And then we put a store on the website. Well, how do you do that? And it just sort of from there it has turned into this.
But not just even on our end, on the consumer's end, because the consumer can go to the grocery store, they can go to Walmart, and realizing how much we had to educate people on it is something different, how it was raised. What does that even mean? Regenerative what? You know, that how many times we've had to explain what regenerative farming even is over and over, or why this product is different over and over. Standing at the farmer's market, it's exhausting. You just have to stand there and smile, say what it is. I'm sorry, $25 for a chicken? Well, yes, it's different. Well, I'm sure it is.
But it's still a chicken.
But it's still a chicken.
Yeah, but it's different.
So we had to like constant education, you know, that really, really matters. But while you're doing that and you're explaining to them what you have done on your farm and how you grew this chicken, a magical thing happens, and that's the consumer relationship. And if you can get them to be like, or even if you go, oh my gosh, you guys are doing that, I'm in. And then you start building the relationship on the other side of that conversation and get people to start coming back. And lo and behold, that's the customer. You know, it's not the guy who walks by and buys a pound of sausage. It's the guy who comes and buys a pound of sausage and then comes back. And then he comes back again. And the next time he comes, the fourth or fifth time he comes back, he would like the bacon and the sausage and some chicken and some pork chops. That's your customer.
And dear friends. Really, like we've made dear friends standing at the farmer's market explaining what we were doing. Mm-hmm. And, that outreach of we're here, but you're also opening yourself up. You're also explaining what we're doing and how we're doing it and why it's different and why we have a passion for it and why is it important to us and why we think it is important to you as well. Like it is you actually make relationships that are lasting.
Another thing that we had to learn, and we're still learning, guys. You can tell we by no means have any of this figured out. We're just sharing with you our journey through this. Another thing is low or slow selling cuts. What do you do with those? Joel Salatin talks about a very large company doing beef, and they wound up going bankrupt because they had $1 million worth of ground beef that they couldn't sell because they were selling the prime cuts. Maybe they were like really amazing and they were selling to a high-end steakhouses or something. But the point is, with every cow, you get about 300 or 400 pounds of ground beef, and you have to move that because cold storage is a problem. So how do you get now ground beef is not a slow thing for us.
Nope.
At all.
For us, how do you get the short ribs?
How do you get the short ribs to sell in Ava Mo? Short ribs, well, if they were sliced properly and I had a Korean market, then I probably do better. But you just run into these, like, what do you do with the slow moving cuts? We have to move these or eat them, but we can't eat all of them even.
Yeah. The slowest ones, we've just stopped getting them.
Yeah. Like
now, maybe 1 in every 6 or 7 cows that we have processed will get short ribs. Mm-hmm. No one wants a pig heart or a pig tongue or a pig liver. Nobody wants to buy that.
No.
So we stopped getting the organs from our pigs.
But chicken feet, those are hot. You would think that, well, what do you do with chicken feet? People are really into health. The switch, it's kind of like a aircraft carrier trying to turn, but the slow turn towards real food and getting our guts healthy in this country has really brought on more broths, and chicken feet are great for broth. You can dehydrate them and give them to your dogs as treats. Dogs love those. But you wouldn't think chicken feet would be a higher selling thing, but it does sell, right? But not all bits and pieces do.
But we took time when we were processing the chickens on the farm, and we did the livers and the hearts, and
I want some gizzards.
We even cleaned gizzards one time, and we were like, nobody bought them.
No,
we ended up giving them away, and it was like, man, the amount of time that we just spent doing this is just not worth it. So that is definitely another thing that we've learned.
And another thing that I think a lot of people do is like, but you start small, and you feel like once you get big, like if we could just grow to have enough product at the market to sell all of everything, or enough product to open the store. Well, every time you grow, you think, well, once we grow, then the farm will really be humming. But every time you grow and you decide you want to grow more chickens, now you have more to sell, but you also have capital outlay, and risk, because you're growing chicken in the middle of the summer and 20 of them are going to die one day. So all that money, flush it down the toilet. And so with growth, if you go too fast, and we may have gone too fast on a couple of things. We may have gone too fast on chicken, and we may have gone too fast on pigs 2 batches ago, one big batch ago. And so but we're not too fast on beef. Can't make that fast enough. And so learning the growth, how to scale, when to scale has been, no lessons are free.
Yeah. And we chatted with you guys 2 weeks ago. We've now been accepted to or approved to accept EBT SNAP benefits, and we're going through the all of the everything that's required to get that system into place. But we don't know what that's going to do to the volume, the market of this, the volume that we're putting through the store.
Right? Do we have enough product to support that? We don't know.
We hope it increases the volume.
Right.
We think it will.
We'll grow more if we need more, but we don't want to we don't want to run out either. So there's that balance. And oh, by the way, what comes with all of that new EBT thing? Of course, we don't have the equipment to take that type of payment, right? So now
it doesn't just work on a regular credit card machine.
Now we got to get a new point of sale thing and trying to figure. Well,
that doesn't integrate with our online system, and
so now it's like this. Yay! This thing happened. Awesome. Oh wait, now you have 16 other things to figure out. But that's just part of it, and we're getting a new system and going through more things.
Yeah, we've got some comments to go through. Carol says, "Yippee for chickens! I am jealous, Jeannie." Homestead Jude says, "Do you have issues with flies? My husband is worried we'll be surrounded by flies and
if we get a few cows
and such. If we get a few cows, we do have flies.
If you so yes, in the summertime, late spring to summer, cows have flies. But primarily the flies stay with the cows. If you're just talking about a few cows, and moving them helps with that. There are some minerals that you can get, that have garlic in it, and some other things that say fly, that helps with flies. I don't know if it does. There are things though. Some people,
if you can move chickens behind the cows, that helps because they eat the fly larvae. A lot of people treat their cows. They put a poison on them that kills the flies.
We do not do that. But yes, cows can come with flies, but our cows are far enough away that they're not, their flies aren't.
The flies that we deal with around our
us.
house are because we have at any one time 5 to 6 tons of feed in the barn.
Yeah.
And it's just impossible to keep the flies out of the feed. So we do have some flies with the feed.
We have fly season.
But it's like with the cows, yes. With the feed, yes. That's really it though. Like the pigs don't really have flies.
No.
The chickens
Isn't that
don't.
funny? The pigs do not have flies.
The sheep have some.
A few.
It depends on the hair on the sheep. Like some of the sheep will have flies and some won't. That's like a little weird.
But the cow flies typically just stay with the cows.
Yeah.
There's leg flies and face flies. There's different kinds of flies for the cows. But they typically, they stay with them.
Yeah.
The cow flies don't bother me.
My Burrell Homestead Life says, constant education is huge. It is exhausting, really. More often than not, your customers are a specific niche, or so I find. Yes. And what's that niche, and where is that customer?
Yeah. Another thing we're trying to figure out is how to get our product into not into, just, yes, find a customer base in actual Branson and actual Springfield.
Out further,
Yeah, out further away from us.
but not necessarily shipping, right? So like,
Right.
there's this, we haven't figured out that
There's
intermediate.
there's a close to 200,000 people between Branson and Springfield, surrounding areas, greater area, that we are not currently tapping into well. Part of that is, how do we deliver it? Drop sites, yes. Finding the customer base, finding the time to go get the customer base. And so that's kind of on the forefront of our brain for the next, okay, we've got enough product. We would like to expand, still direct to the consumer. We don't really want to go into stores wholesale, but if we could find, it just takes a handful. It's not like we need 300 families in Springfield. We just need a few handful. And then that meat is over there in that market too. And so there's just more money over there because it's so niche. I think I need to start going to the gyms, those carnivore people,
Yeah.
Yep.
And then my Burrell Homestead says, I find I also have to teach people how to cook the meat.
So the funniest question that I've
Yes.
ever gotten, like, what's the most interesting question you've ever gotten in a conversation, would be literally, how do you thaw out a chicken? Like a whole chicken. How do you thaw that out? I wouldn't even know how to do that, much less cook it. And so we were standing in the store on Saturday. Lady bought a New York strip. Now, this is a grass-fed New York strip. Okay, yeah, that's what he wants. Okay, do not cook this like you cook a grocery store steak. And so we go through the process of writing it down, how to cook the steak, do a reverse sear, keep it low and slow, don't cook it too fast. And constantly, because it's not the same food that we're used to cooking. We do it all the time, but it's important.
Yeah. Jeannie says, I'm on an acreage surrounded by cows, and yes, there are a ton of flies. I put out fly bait traps, equal parts powdered sugar and borax.
Yeah, we've put out some fly traps in the barn, and they do attract. They work.
Anna's asking for slow cuts. Can you give out cooked samples for the farmer's market?
Give out cooked samples.
Samples are hard at the market. I think
There's rules.
the short answer is yes, but there are definitely rules about how you do it and how you cook it and what like licenses you have, sort of. But giving it away, I think the answer is yes. Then you just have to have like the little cups and the gloves and all of the things.
Just follow all the food handling rules.
Susie says, years ago, we used to fry up pig hearts, chicken gizzards, and then they quit selling them. I understand why.
I understand why. Because a few people will.
Yeah, a few people will,
But
not a whole lot.
Most
And
people
then
just
my
want
Burrell
chicken breast.
Homestead Life says, I do the giblets all the time and just put them in the bird when I sell it.
Yeah,
Yes?
I've considered that on these that we're about to do, is putting all of it in the bird, and with the neck, heart,
Liver, at least.
liver,
Yeah,
probably not the gizzard
that's difficult.
because it's just such a mess. But putting it all in there, giblets too,
Yeah.
and you make more money that way.
Zana says, could you add the organs to the grinds and market it as nutrient dense?
No,
Our USDA processor will not do that. I know that there are some people or some processors that will. Our processor will not. If you bought a whole beef from us, the gentleman that we have that comes and does on-farm kills, I think he does that. So we could do it for a whole beef, but not for just like
USDA.
our USDA hamburger. And that's based on our processor.
yeah. And since we don't process any of it except for the whole chickens, we're at their mercy, I guess.
Yeah. Iberel Homestead Life says, figuring out how much or if to grow is hard. Last year I sold out of 15-pound whole chickens, but the year before no one wanted one. Who knows what to do? Yes.
Yes.
I like big chickens. So I was very excited when the first year we grew them, when we had these 8-pound chickens, and everybody was like, that's not chicken, and it's too big.
It's too big.
I don't want it. And
They want 4-pounders. That's what they're used to
yeah,
seeing.
so we're totally with you there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by many the garlic salt blocks do work to keep the flies down.
Well, there you go.
Homestead Jude says, have thought about having the organs mixed in with the ground and marketing it as nutritionally superior ground beef, or have we? Or pork, just an idea. Yeah, homesteaders definitely can, and depending on the processor.
Yeah.
If I were processing it, yeah.
Sure. I don't know about pork, but
legal,
I would do it on
legal
beef.
for retail.
It depends on the processor.
Yeah, because the processors have to have everything that they do has to be approved by USDA. So that's just something that our processor hasn't gotten approval to do.
Or they don't want to.
Or they don't want to. That's
In
fair
their
too.
business model, they might not want to.
Yeah. Fair. And they're great processors.
Yeah,
So
they're great.
That's a little tough for us. Susie Q says, my cousin for many years raised bison.
Okay.
He went to Chicago, which was 2 hours away, and bison.
Bison. Typo. Got
And
it.
introduced his bison meat to high-end restaurants. It went over really well. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that.
I do not want to mess with bison.
You.
Carol, I Want Chicken says, do you still have a long wait time to take beef to the market? I recall there being a long lead time in the past.
There was, especially in 2020, 21, rolling into 22. But at this point, no, we don't. I don't know about private people, but our processor works with us. We get in.
We do a lot of business with
We do a
them.
lot of business
so
with
when
them.
we ask to get a beef in, they get us in.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And like
I can adjust my appointments. Like we were supposed to take pigs. We didn't take pigs because it was icy. We couldn't even get them out. And I called them. I'm like, we can't bring them. Can you shift us? And they shifted us. And we work with them. They work with us. So no, we don't have a long wait time.
My Burrell Homestead Life says maybe an Azure drop model with pre-order would work. Alternatively, perhaps a regular customer can be a distributor in return for product.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly
that's
that.
exactly what we're trying to get set up. It's a matter of getting it into the website and how do you parse out the product costs and pricing
And
it's
the owners actually doing the thing, and setting all of it up.
Yeah. Jeannie says if you continue to go to the farmers markets in those bigger cities in your area, you will build your market, pass out your educational materials and business cards.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
My Burrell Homestead says, sounds like maybe they are not peeling the gizzards. Am I wrong? We did the gizzards and we did peel them. Yeah, it was still just the amount of work was not worth it for us.
When you've processed a whole lot that day, now you get to the gizzards and it's just kind of a couple of you. You're just like,
And Anna says freeze-dried organs for dog treats is a way to change the throwaways in income. You're absolutely right. And we have thought about that.
Yep.
We don't currently have a freeze dryer. It is on the list of things to get. And that is one of the things that we would do with it because the freeze-dried dog treats sell really well. And it's a great way to value add to a product that doesn't normally sell.
Yes.
So
great point.
100%. Mary says, really liking these longer days. Yesterday, we gathered 57 eggs.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, us too.
We're swimming in the eggs right now.
Yeah. Well, not as much as you think, but yeah. I mean, but they're going out the store too.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's just,
I'm just saying we're getting a lot as
we're getting a lot as well. Yeah, which is
we
good.
We have a buildup. I'm saying we're harvesting many eggs.
Oh, yes, you are correct. We're harvesting many eggs.
Patty says, would love to have some 100% trustworthy chicken livers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
That's easy.
I mean, the livers, it's easy. We can just keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Phil says there is a market for natural pet food that might be an option. Yes. Shack.
Yeah.
Anna says, I think you have answered that you sell frozen cow and pig fat for those that want to render their own. That is true. We sure do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we have both. More of the pig leaf lard, just simply because
there's more of it.
There's more of it, and we have grown more pigs.
Yeah, and they put some of the fat in the hamburger.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, we do have both, so you can render your own.
Mary says, by the way, love chicken livers and gizzards.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
you liver people.
We'll
save them back. You better come and get them. Better come and get them.
Xana says, the farm I buy meat from markets that ground beef as their carnivore blend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would eat it. I would like to have it because I don't necessarily love the taste of liver, but I would eat it ground in meat.
Okay.
That would be good.
So real quick, our little bonus section, we got to wrap up because we've hit our time, which we seem to do. So we've talked about things that kind of didn't quite turn out, or we needed to shift, and we've got constantly making decisions and, adjusting. That's what farming is. You're just making decisions and adjusting all the time. But not everything has been wrong. A lot of things have just gone really right. The relationships that we talked about are absolutely essential to this type of business in general. If I'm going to grow your food, you probably want to know who I am and how I grow it. And I think that having a transparent, trustworthy, know, like, trust relationship is essential to us growing your food.
Loyal customers are amazing. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that I think that we have gotten right is in building that relationship with people, turning that into a customer that comes back. That is so huge. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned it last week, I believe, but it does something to us both when we see the person over and over again. Mm-hmm. Even if you just come in and get eggs, mm-hmm. We have customers, we know when they walk in the door, they're coming in to get eggs, and that is awesome. To see that repeat customer, the loyal customer that has, agreed with you in that I want to support you. Mm-hmm. I think that
I'm supporting you, growing your food. You're supporting the farm by buying that food, and it works. Another thing, family. Family is one of my absolute core values in my life, is to take care of family. And family, like our family, his family, my parents, our kids, extended family, in any way that they can, they have stepped up to support and be a part in as much as they can of what we're doing. Both of our sets of parents, are currently listening to this thing right now. And they have both been beyond supportive in making all of this even happen. And we bring them in, we bring our kids in, everybody, give them an opportunity to have purpose and meaning and be fulfilled, and all of those things through the act of service and growing someone else's food.
Regenerative actually does work. When we started this, we had no idea. I mean, we'd watched about it on YouTube and we had read books about it, but we had never done it. The idea of using animals to impact the soil and make it regenerate and be better than it was, we're almost 5 years in now, and it's working. It really is. The soil is better. It's healthier. The grass is better. It's way healthier. Mm-hmm. The better the grass is, the more the land supports more animals. Mm-hmm. And the what works, regenerative.
Yeah, it does.
The concept really does work.
Systems compound. So every time we implement a system, and then we adjust, and then we adjust again, but they compound, because if I have a good system for making the feed, then I'm spending less time making the feed, and therefore I can create a system over here for the next thing. We were moving we were moving animals every single day. We don't do that anymore, but we've got probably 50 or 60 other systems involved with the farm, to where, honestly, I was thinking about it today, and of course it's kind of winter time, but I was thinking, are we supposed to be doing something? Because, outside, because I feel it's just humming along. The washroom for milking the cows, everything has a place. Everything in its place. Do it the same way every time. Be efficient. He was telling me about how even when he's loading the side-by-side with all of the milking stuff, he'll make sure that the milk that needs to go in first is on the driver's side, so he can just reach around, grab it, and it's really close. Little things. And with efficiencies and systems, it makes it to where we can do more. How do you do all of this? Systems.
Yeah. And resilience builds.
It does.
The more you do it, the more you get resilient, and the more resilient you are. I mean, it just continues to, like a snowball. Like it does continue to build.
Yeah. So while not everything goes right, and everything we learned on YouTube doesn't always work perfectly for our location, it doesn't mean it just all went wrong, because a whole bunch of it has gone right.
Let's catch a few more comments before we sign off. Jeannie says, I would love to get some tallow to make soap. Mm-hmm. Yes. We can ship it. Mary says, rabbit livers are even better than chicken livers, and they are larger.
We're about to find that out.
Here we go. My Burrell Homestead says, that's wonderful that you have that support from family and friends.
We do.
Yes, I agree.
It is wonderful.
Very wonderful. And then your mom says, love watching you grow your business with much success.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, super supportive.
Carol, I want chickens, says, thanks for another great chat. Thank you, Carol.
Glad you were here.
And Firefox Kitty says, thanks for sharing. Great information.
Glad you were here. Well, this has been fun. Thank you for hanging out with us on this President's Day evening. We didn't really get to participate in the whole federal holiday thing, because you don't work for the government anymore.
That's all right.
But we had a nice day anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. And
until next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.